Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to see a very special game with Dan.
Cool.
So we were thinking about what games you would be interested in seeing, and I think dance games are always an interesting study materials. But then this time I wanted to see this the game of the news. Is that how you say it?
One of the recent highlights, maybe, in the pro world.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Like the game that everyone is talking about. So that game is a Japanese girl, 9-year-old currently, but who is going to be a pro when she becomes 10 years old, which is this year, April. So she had a special match against a Korean pro who is currently the #1 female player in the world. So her name is Choi Jeong. That's the Korean player name. She's 9 dan, and the Japanese girl Nakamura Sumire is
Is now a pro.
it's like
Or
not
will.
it's will be pro. It's
Okay.
pro to be.
Pro to be. Okay.
Yes. So this special match was arranged by the Korean Baduk Association because Sumire has been actually studying in Korea. Her father is a Japanese professional player, but then they decided that she will have a better go studying environment in Korea. So they sent her to Korean 도장, if you're familiar with the term. That's where students go all day to become pro. So she's been studying there, and the KBA arranged a special match to kind of congratulate her. And the way she became professional player is very special. I heard that the Japanese Go Association, they introduced this special policy, and she's the first case. And they decided to let really young, talented players to become pro early on, so that they can get stronger faster. And they call it something I don't know the literal translation, but something like make the #1 player project.
Okay.
They want to be a world champion.
Okay.
Because Japan hasn't had a world champion for some years now. So the idea is that if you become pro when you're younger, then you have better chance of becoming world champion.
Also, apparently, if you train in Korea instead of Japan.
So anyway, so this is actually based on statistics. Most top pros have become pro much earlier than the average age. So in Korea, let's say the top pros like Lee Chang-ho 9 dan, Lee Se-dol, and some of the top female pros, they all became pro 13, 12. And Cho Hoon-hyun 9 dan, I don't know exactly how he became pro, but he became pro at 9. And he holds the earliest becoming pro record.
So do you think that's correlation or causation?
So that's a very interesting question because
So it seems like the Japanese, by
Yes.
naming these very young pros, they're
Right.
on the hypothesis that someone, because they're named pro at a young age, that gives them motivation or opportunities to train and eventually reach top world status.
right.
The question is that true, or is it just that a player is naturally more talented and therefore rises faster, so it's not the cause? But I guess we'll have to
Yeah.
find out. We'll have to watch her
We'll
career
have
and
to
find out.
see. Yeah. Something interesting is that in Korea there is this belief that you have to pass the pro qualification. It's a kind of unspoken, a shared value. Because, passing a pro test is, very hard. So that's why they say that. And then some of the top pros who became pro at 12, they passed the same, general pro qualification as everyone else. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I think Well, one positive thing for the entire Go world is that Sumire becoming pro has generated so much news about Go, like even in general media like BBC, because she's so young. So I think that's probably very good positive impact. But then she's still very young. I'm sure some people wonder like why it was necessary. If she is so talented, she should be able to pass the pro qualification on her own in a few years anyway. And if she can do it by herself, why was it necessary? So I think there are like both sides in this.
Right. Well, it's an interesting experiment.
Yeah, I guess. So with that, maybe let's look at the game. So
Okay.
this special match, so it was not even game. It was a handicap. So Choi Jeong had the white, and there was no komi. So it's like one handicap.
And
stone.
this game was played after after this young pro was
Announced.
anointed pro. Okay.
Yes.
So it's not like because of this amazing game.
No. Actually, she did have a test game.
Oh, okay.
So the Japanese Go Association, before making her pro, they had a special game against Choyu, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's him. And she had reverse 6-point komi. So
okay.
she was black, and then she was also getting 6 points, and she made a draw in that game.
Okay. Wow.
That was pretty impressive. And she played another game with Iyama Yuta after the announcement, but that game, it was like stopped in before the game ended, but then she was far behind
Okay.
at the time it was stopped. It was like a time limited special game.
I'm curious to see her style.
Yeah.
Whether she plays like a lot of youngsters, very aggressive and fighting.
Yes. So I read an interview of her Go teacher, who is a Korean pro, and he said that unlike some of the other Japanese students, her style is very aggressive.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay.
And he also mentioned that even including all the Korean students, he believes that she is the best in her age.
Okay.
Like if you compare all the 9-year-old kids in like Japan or Korea, he believes she is the top.
I see. Okay.
So maybe that's already impressive talent. And also I do remember that when I went to my dojang first time to learn Go professionally, I was also 9 years old. And I think I had a test game with my master with 5 handicap stones. So, and she's playing with 1 handicap stone.
Against the world's top pros. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
But looking at this game, I think maybe more proper handicap could be 2 stones, not 1.
Okay.
But still, that's amazing.
But, yeah,
for a
I mean,
9-year-old.
there is that much difference, you'd say, between the top pros and an adult pro who's sort of an entry level pro. Would you? Like how many stones would that be?
Top pro, yeah, maybe about 1 stone.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Maybe let's.
Yeah, let's
take a
look at the game.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh, we disabled the next move.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Dan will seem 50% less smart this one. Okay.
Yes. So we are
Oh,
seeing
what?
opening, and yeah, I've never seen this move before.
That's the
It's like looks
high-low
like
Chinese.
So let's go back. This would be considered a high Chinese opening,
Right.
and this would be low Chinese opening.
Right.
But then I guess some people did play here. I think I've seen this. So maybe that's in the like same line of thought
Okay.
that you play here.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Or maybe it's the trendy move that I didn't know about.
I see.
It's also possible. But anyway, white is playing very calm.
Yeah, White just sort of goes, whatever, I'm just enclosing a corner.
Yeah. Oh, and I was thinking I can also learn from how she plays with white without komi. Because
Okay.
last time I had such a hurried, not very good opening.
Interesting.
So anyway, to black's approach on f17, white nuke it and approach it the other side. And then black jumps into the corner. So
Okay.
that's interesting so far. And usually white connects here on e17. But white didn't. But this is also not uncommon move.
Right. I know AIs like that
Oh,
move.
I see.
But it's a little strange that white doesn't have a pincer stone there.
That's true,
Right?
yes.
Like, this isn't really the normal Joseki.
Right, usually white has a stone on h17, for
Right.
example.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
And black plays here. And I think black just wanted to make these exchanges before jumping here. Because black had to come here anyway.
Okay.
And then now white is attacking. It's probably not a good idea to try to run away right now. Because even if you live inside, like, you would...
White, it's
like
very
that-
costly.
Right. You would let white to get all the strong outside.
Yeah. I know you don't want to do that type of thing in the opening.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So... I think black... played
yeah,
here.
okay.
And... So, basically black got the sente move on L17 for giving up the 3 stones. And then black's doing that. And it seems like black wants to give up the stone on L17 again and build something big on the right side.
Also, would you say white looks over concentrated there?
Nope. Looks okay.
Oh, okay. 'Cause white has 9 stones in that area, and black has 3, which are weak. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough to judge that. Okay.
Right, I think it does look okay. So let's say typical Joseki, you would have these 5 white stones on D and then E lines. And then black has the 5 stones in the corner. And we often see like F17 black stone and J17 white stone. So if we imagine that's like even, we are seeing 1 more white stone because black has 2 more and white has 3 more. But black has 1 stone on L17, and that's like not fully 1 move. It's like black got that like center exchange in a way.
I see. There's tell me if this is right or wrong. One way I look at these is I look at the stones to points ratio. Like if, let's say, imagine the 3 black stones are dead and you've got 9 white stones. It's something like 14 points or so in that area. So you spent 9 stones to get 14 points, which is less than 2 points per stone.
I see. So I would say that's not a very good way of analyzing
Okay.
it. Because that makes it sound really bad for white. I would say imagine a more common situation that are considered even.
Okay.
So in this case, like white having the 5 stones on the left side and then 1 stone on J17.
I see. So that is I see. You look at the Joseki book situation.
Yes.
That's considered even, and you say, okay, there's maybe 1 more white stone here then.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's say white has stones like this, and then black has stone like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So in this situation, like we would believe this is even result for black and white.
Okay. Also consider that white came out with sente out of that situation.
Right.
Okay.
And then we have an exchange of this and that. So that's basically it.
Okay.
And I think that's okay for white.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so we have the contact on 016 there.
Yes. And this is Joseki.
Yep.
You've seen this?
I've seen this.
Yes.
I can't play it, but
Yes.
I know that diagonal is a Joseki.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I wonder if... Oh, yeah. So white didn't have to connect this way. I just wanted to point out. For example, white could also connect that way. But then I think white did want to keep this one as not sente for black, so that white can have easier time invading the right side. So in this case, white has to come back.
I see.
But here, once white plays that, black cannot get the P16 in sente.
I see. Interesting. So far, these look like I don't see any crazy aggressive
Right, yeah, me neither.
youngster type play out of black, so that's cool.
Right.
Okay.
So I wonder, it seems like it's very important for black to get sente, so that black can defend the right side before white invades. So in the actual game, when white invaded here, black couldn't attack this white stone very well because black also had some weakness on around the R16 and P16 area.
I see. And is white's coming in here because this is like the last chance
Right.
at doing anything and before black kind of locks down a big territory there.
So I'm not sure what would be the best way to do it, but let's say something like this could have been better than the actual game.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay. So with this extension, it seems like it will be difficult for black to kill this with this Atari. And then I saw this move and I don't understand this one. Why did black play there?
Is it sente?
No, I mean it is kind of sente against the white group, but it's not a good attacking point. And it's not like black needs to worry about that shape. So why couldn't black like attack more like this, for example, or like that?
I wonder if it's nerves, like you know that you're playing one of the top pros in the world, and you kind of get nervous. I don't know. I get nervous when I'm playing stronger players.
Of course, yeah, me too. Yes, it does make the black's potential on the lower right corner a little stronger. But I don't know. It feels a little slow to me. And then white invades again. So I would say white on the right side is pretty much alive.
Yeah, the upper group, yeah.
Yes.
That invasion point looks scary to me as white. Like, I would be... I wouldn't imagine I'd be able to jump in like that and live.
I think the only reason why white could do this is because the right side white group is very safe.
It's strong now. Okay. So white's okay having one weak group.
That's right, yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Or maybe the Korean pro wanted to see how well this girl could attack.
Oh no.
That's also possible.
Okay, wow. Okay, and this... Ooh.
Yeah, I would say this is like really aggressive move.
Wow. So it's like white is kind of doing sabaki here.
Yes.
But getting that move seems... Oof. Okay.
Yeah, she must have been really nervous because the corner is not quite alive yet. So white is like letting black live in the corner, but instead like getting out. Because white just needs to live. And if once white leaves, the whole black potential is erased.
Right, yeah, that's... There goes black's points in the lower right.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. So I don't know if that was a translation of some like Japanese news article or like original English article. But on Facebook, I saw this news saying Sumire was utterly defeated.
Utterly defeated.
Like not even utterly.
Oh.
Utterly defeated. Does that make sense?
She suffered an utter defeat?
No.
No, sorry.
But anyway, I thought it was kind of not nice to say utterly defeated. What do you think? I think the article mentioned that she got behind in the opening and then like had no chance.
I see. That she was just outplayed the whole game. Well, but we haven't thrown this into an AI, but I'm thinking like
Yes.
Minigo or Leela or Elf should be the one to decide who's who's utterly ahead.
Yeah, but then we still have that Komi problem.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. What about? I mean, I keep looking at the peep
Yes.
at like R7 or the clamp at S7. Would those be important at any point? Like it looks like such a...
So black wouldn't want to do that because, so let's say later with white having the stone on T6, black's corner can be in danger.
Okay. So, oh boy. Okay, so that just gets you in trouble.
It can
without
make a big
accomplishing
difference
much.
whether white has a stone on T6.
Okay.
So black will do that only if it's like so critical to make one eye.
I see. Like an
or black
emergency.
group.
Okay.
Yes. So you can see that white is going out and black's potential is pretty much erased. Black doesn't seem to have much hope of killing the white group because black has so many weaknesses. And with that, like white has such a big territory on the upper side, but black doesn't have any big territory now. So I would say at this point, the game seems like kind of hopeless.
I see. Very favorable for white. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And that was probably because black's playing on O6 didn't work out as black hoped.
So is it that black tried to attack that white invasion a little too severely?
So the moment white came through here.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't say this is a good result for black, but then black could keep some territory like this.
So this seems better than the game results.
Yeah, or
I
maybe
see.
I'm thinking it could be even better to just extend instead of Hane.
Yeah. That takes good judgment to
Right.
be like, okay, I'll give you that.
Yes, yes. So, I went too far. So, went like this,
Ouch. Yeah.
and black lived, and then white was out, and black played here.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So this is actual game,
Sure.
and black had to leave, and then white is out.
Ouch.
So at this point, white is really out, and then black's group on the lower side is kind of weak. Plus, like white playing around P2 is Sente.
You mean because of the monkey jump?
Yes,
Yeah.
because of the monkey jump.
Wow. And then black's eventually gonna have to do something with those stones in the lower center.
Right, and
Ooh.
now like white is already launching a big attack.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So black had to give up these stones.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's rough.
it is rough. Yes. But at the post-game interview, the Korean pro Choi Jeong said that she was glad to see the girl like playing really hard until the very end.
I
like,
see. You mean the
she
game? The
didn't
game
give up
going
easily,
on.
right?
Nice. You know that works at Q levels.
Yeah,
You can be this far behind and win a game.
That's right.
Through persistence. Pro level, not so much.
Yeah, a little harder.
Yeah. Or even down level, not so much.
Okay. So now white is kind of being safe. With this diagonal move, the upper side white's territory is very solid.
Isn't it huge to play something on the left side now? Like
right now, black needs to come to the left side.
I see. Okay. Okay.
And seems like black decided there wasn't much to gain on the side. So let's say the more common response would be this.
Yes.
And then play somewhere around here.
Yep.
But you can see that the position of black is kind of low on the left, upper left corner. And then white can later do a6, monkey jump, etc.
Right.
So instead of this, black chose to have corner with this hane.
Can I mention for Q players, these sorts of joseki are important to know. Like in this situation, you've got that attachment. You could go one lower, right? B4. You could do B5 and do that. But like, I'd highly recommend learning these joseki because they're not ones that you really play in the opening, but you know, at a point like this in the game, you know, when you need to prevent white from locking down the territory, or if you're the white player, just knowing like if you handle these wrong, you can lose a lot. So just knowing the general way to handle this sort of attachment or underneath type approaches.
Yeah,
very,
that's
like
true.
I found it very useful for me.
Right.
And a lot of these are on Josekipedia.
So you learned all these from Josekipedia?
I didn't learn all of them.
I mean like the things you know.
Often, yes. It's a great resource. Josekipedia.com. If you're not familiar with it, it's an interface that lets you explore joseki variations, and it lets you play moves for either player. It also lets you pass for tanuki situations, and it's generally pretty good. I wouldn't say it's perfect, because a lot of times I'll say, Hajin, I learned this on Josekipedia, and you're like, that's not Joseki.
So it's called Josekipedia because it works like Wikipedia, is that it? Anyone can edit?
Yeah, it's sort of community maintained. But, you know, like Wikipedia, I think the quality is surprisingly high, given that it's a community project.
Right. It can show you like Joseki variation in most cases.
And because you actually play out the moves on the board, so it's much faster to look something up than to go through a Joseki. You know, if you get by a Joseki book, like the 4 3-point Josekis, the 3-3 Josekis, and this way you just go da 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 da, and you play the board position and you see what's there.
Right. Yeah, this new technology is just so amazing. You know, so many times I wished we had the Smart Go book app when I was younger, because I would read Go books and then always we would have this diagram written in numbers.
Yeah, those numbers.
Right? But in Smart Go app, like you can actually play out inside the book. I thought that was amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and of course the AI. Now AI can tell you the correct moves, etc. So it's an amazing time to learn Go.
That's right. Yeah, the resources are so much better than they used to be. Okay, so this is pretty standard sequence.
Right.
Okay.
So black's alive in corner now. But in the meantime, white got a strong outside, and the black group on the lower side is not alive yet. So that's a bit of problem. And you can see now white is attacking it.
I see. And white just locked down kind of the lower left a bit. I see.
Yes. But white is actually not really interested in killing it at this point
Of
because
course.
white is
Yeah.
ahead in territory.
Yeah.
So white just wants to kind of clean up the board while attacking this group in a
Yeah.
slow pace.
Yeah. So when you know you're ahead, that's a good thing to do.
Yes. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, so this game was played on the Baduk TV studio in Korea with 1 hour thinking time for each
Okay.
player. And then the Byoyomi was like 1 minute one time. And, you know, for a little girl, it was probably she was probably very nervous.
Yeah.
Like with all the cameras and the
Yeah.
journalists.
Sort of the test tube experiment for can we build a better pro?
Right. So at this point, it's like black can almost die actually. So if white was going to lose, unless white kills it, then it could have been a little more dangerous. But I think, well, let me see what happened. I think white didn't really try to kill it. Yeah, for example, at this point now black can kind of try to live. Maybe like this is and then play something like this. So it is possible to live.
I see. And white spirits are just completely secure.
Yes. So this is the actual game. Oh wow, black didn't respond to this. That's a big damage there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's like black's really trying, but there was a big damage on the left side and black group still needs to live. And white has more territory.
That little empty.
Yeah,
triangle
so
there.
white is connected with that move. And white is of course looking at the cut on P11. And the black group over here is not alive yet.
Right, I see. So in a regular pro match, you'd say black probably should have resigned a while ago.
Not sure. The new trend is that even pros, they don't resign easily when they are like really behind. But when I was young, when I was her age, like there was this belief that it's not respectful to continue playing when you are far behind.
Right.
Like if you really recognize your opponent as a good player, then you would give up. You wouldn't keep trying. That I think that was the idea. But then maybe around 2000 and 2010, the paradigm changed. Because there were a group of Chinese players who would never resign, and then sometimes they would succeed in turning the game around. And then there was some like controversy between the Korean pros whether that was okay or not. But then the younger Korean pros started thinking that, well, it's important to try to win until the end. Why is it important to resign earlier? So they started doing that, and then now this became more of the norm.
More common. I see.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is that element of mental endurance, you know, for human players, not AIs, but you get tired and you could use up all of your time playing a great, artful game. And then the opponent starts some horrible and you're in Byoyomi.
Right.
And, you know, you can collapse. And I think, I mean, I don't know whether or not you want that to be part of the mind sport of Go, but it is, I mean... Yeah, well, I think it is a legitimate thing to compete on, is not just can you play well in the opening, but can you actually bring it home at the very end.
Yeah, that's true.
Although, I mean, at tournaments, sometimes I feel uncomfortable in that I think I'm probably behind and I probably should resign and I don't want to waste this person's time. But on the other hand, if I'm in Byoyomi, I can't count for sure. I'm like plus or minus 5 points or plus or minus 10 points. There have been many games that I was like sure I was losing, and then it's over and we count and I've won. That happened to me several times.
Right.
I also tend not
not
to want to give up.
Yeah, in that case, you really don't want to resign because your counting could have been wrong.
Right. It could also be depending on whether you're playing in a tournament or a casual game. If you're playing casually online, you're way behind. You might learn more just by resigning and going on to the next game, starting afresh.
Oh, that's true.
Instead of spending another half hour.
Right.
Trying to do some shenanigans.
Yeah. That's true.
Unless shenanigans is your training goal.
So in this game, so just to summarize, I would say I think Black's strategy for building the right side didn't go well. So maybe Black should have played somewhat differently around the upper left corner. Because once White invaded, it was not easy already to attack this group. And then when White was already kind of settled in that area, Black didn't have much left.
Is it so? White got 2 successful invasions on the right side.
Right.
And would you say that it would a more even outcome would you could give White one of those invasions, allow White to live, but force a trade-off where you lock down the other side rather than letting White make a living group on both sides.
Yeah, but then once White was already kind of safe on the upper left, Black did have a choice to lock down the lower left, but then White would have taken the lower side.
Right.
So that's a little hard thing to say. But I think Black should have tried to get Sente from the upper side and then maybe have another move on the left side.
Yeah, when you think that, as I learn more from you, the value of Sente. If we go back to the situation before that sequence in lower left was played out, the value of a move on the left or lower left part of this board is huge, right? If you compare White getting like b4 versus that kind of sequence.
Right.
And so even if you're spending a lot of energy fighting over something on the right side, at some point, once things are secure, you can't forget that whoever comes out of that with Sente is going to gain a lot by
going there first.
Going first on the left side.
To the open side. Yep, that's true. Yeah, so that was the game of the famous Japanese girl. And I think everyone has very high hopes for her. It will be really amazing if she does become a world champion.
Right.
That will be a good payoff for Japanese Go Association.
Cool.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
So I guess that was it for today. And we will come back next time with another game.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Bye bye.